The Batman. So, The Batman serves as a reboot of the entire Batman film franchise. It is directed by Matt Reeves, and it stars Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, Batman, alongside Zoe Kravitz and Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell. All right. So, it's set after 2 years of fighting crime. The film sees Batman uncover corruption in Gotham City while pursuing the Riddler, played by Paul Dano, a serial killer who targets Gotham's elite. All right, so a lot of things went. There was a lot of situations and problems going on before this movie. When this movie was in development, like way back in all the way back in 2013. To keep you up to date, here's what happened. I'm gonna give you a little history lesson. So development began um, after Ben Affleck was cast as Batman in the DCEU back in 2013. Affleck signed on to direct, produce, co-write, and star in The Batman, but had reservations about the project and dropped out. Matt Reeves took over, and I'm so glad they brought Matt Reeves to direct the Batman movie, because if you haven't, I mean, the only movies I've seen from Matt Reeves, excuse me. I thought I incorrected myself. No, what I meant to say was, I'm glad they brought in Matt Reeves to direct this movie, because I'll be okay. The only movies I've seen from Matt Reeves are the Planet of the Apes movies, which are amazing, by the way. Like, one of the best trilogies out there. It's like right up there with the Dark Knight trilogy. If you haven't seen, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War, you know, A Rise of the Planet. If you haven't seen the recent Planet of the Apes movie, you have to see it. Which also starred Andy Serkis. Serkis did the motion capture for Caesar in those movies. So yeah, Andy Serkis and Matt Reeves. It's having a little. They have a reunion. They are back together with tackling another project. This time, the DC superhero. But yeah, so glad that the two of them are working together again. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Planet of the Apes movies, you definitely should see that. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. So I'm glad they brought in Matt Reeves. He's a great director. And he reworked the story, removing any, DCEU connections. He sought to explore, Matt Reeves wanted to explore Batman's detective side more than the previous films, drawing inspirations from, the 1970s films and comics such as Year One, The Long Halloween. Um, Year One and The Long Halloween, definitely I definitely, when this movie opened up, I definitely got that vibe. But anyway, yeah, Robert Pattinson was cast in like in 2019, May 2019, and that was um a very interesting choice that I don't think anyone was really thinking about. Like there are a lot of actors out there. There are a lot of great, men. There are a lot of great actors out there, very talented actors. But Robert Pattinson, like, really? And I know people give him a lot of shit for being in Twilight, but he's a really great actor, all right? I haven't seen Good Times, but I have seen The Lighthouse. He starred with Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. Definitely check that movie out. But anyway, it's a great movie. But anyway, Robert Pattinson was cast, and then the rest follows, and then the rest was history, and now here we are. So yeah, and this movie was delayed twice because of the pandemic, but now finally it's here. It's in theaters, and it is amazing. I love The Batman. All right. This movie is great. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's absolutely amazing. All right. I love how this movie explores, like Matt Reeves wanted to. He wanted to explore Batman's detective side, and I really love that. Batman is working with Commissioner Gordon like he always does. He always does from the comics and in the previous films. He always works with Gordon. But yeah, he works with the police trying to uncover the answers and they try to solve all these riddles from the Riddler, these complex puzzles and traps and all of it. So yeah, I really do like that. I really do love that. So yeah. And Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, let's dive right into the casting. And oh, by the way, I will say this. There will be spoilers. This will be a spoiler review. I don't feel like I'm lazy, all right? I'm lazy. I don't want to, do a non-spoiler review and then make another review. I'd rather just have it all in one video. I don't want to make like so many videos. Just let's talk about everything Batman. So yes, this will be a spoiler review. So be warned. Okay. So going into this, so Robert Pattinson, I love him. I love his Batman. I love his Batman more than Bruce Wayne because as Bruce Wayne, I don't know. He's kind of like well, both Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson describe Batman as an insomniac, um, who cannot, who is an insomniac. And for me, I feel like I love his Batman more than Bruce Wayne, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know, like his Bruce Wayne is very, very gothic. It's very like emo, a little bit emo, very emo, very gothic, a bit pouty, a bit pouty. But yeah, but it's not really, it didn't really get on my nerves. It didn't really, it wasn't, it wasn't a pain or anything. It's just a little issue, like just a tiny little thing. But yeah, but yeah, I like his Batman more than his Bruce Wayne. Um, yeah, so when he's not out there as Batman, he's inside the Batcave with Alfred in the Wayne Mansion, driving around the city, disguising himself, like wearing his motorcycle helmet, trying to keep tabs and trying to find out, trying to get some information, going to all these places. So, looking for answers. But yeah, and Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle. Again, she was cast as Selena Kyle, Catwoman. Very it was a choice that not a lot of people. I'm pretty sure the casting for Robert Pattinson and then Zoe Kravitz wasn't. I'm pretty sure not everyone was on board with both of these actors. But I think they did a great. Um, I think both of them did a great job because this is because like to be you want an actor to be perfect for your movie, for the tone. You want the actor to fit the tone of the movie, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? And I think both of them did a great job. So yeah, so Selena Kyle, Catwoman, she's a nightclub waitress. She's a cat burglar, who meets Batman while she's like searching for her missing roommate. Her roommate has gone missing, and she's trying to find out where she went, what happened to her, and that's when she encounters and meets the Batman, and they have a very interesting dynamic. Um, I don't, it's it's like Selena Kyle is like represents femininity in contrast to Batman's masculinity. So yeah, the two of them are kind of like a dynamic duo with each other. And then you have Paul Dano, who plays Edward Nashton, the Whittler. I thought, the Whittler has never struck me as a very menacing villain. I'll just say that. I'll just say it right now. He's not. The Whittler, it challenges Batman. The Whittler challenges. He always challenges Batman on an intellectual and calculating level. That's it. Like from like the Arkham video games, from the cartoons, from Jim Carrey and Batman Forever. He's not very menacing. But holy shit. This Whittler, he's so creepy. He really is. Like Paul Dano does an amazing, tremendous job. Like he comes off as very airy and creepy. He's a creepy and very unnerving serial killer who goes out and targets Gotham's elite citizens and live streams. He also live streams his crimes. Um, and yeah, the Whittler's goal, his mission, like his objective, is that he wants to seek to, and I quote, unmask the truth, end quote, about Gotham. He taunts Batman and the law enforcement, the Gotham City Police Department, with riddles. Always what he does, he goes out, he kills all these, these people, and then he leaves these riddles for the police department for Batman to solve and to answer. And one riddle leads to another, and at the end of it, all of it comes unfolding. The bigger picture, the bigger answer. Of course, the bigger picture gets answered, and gets revealed. So yeah, he's kind of like he has like a political. I guess you could say he has a political agenda, and he's kind of like a terrorist. He's streaming all of his crimes, and he's like all over the news. Yeah. And then you have Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. I will say this. I mean, there really isn't much about James Gordon. I thought Jeffrey Wright did an amazing job as Gordon, but he's just there to. But Gordon is just really there. Like you don't see like his family or anything. He's just there to to help Batman solve all these riddles. Like that's it. That's his whole. That's his main goal. That's his whole. That's his whole character right there. He just goes out. He's a Gotham City Police Department, a GCPD officer, who Batman trusts. They work together to solve the Riddler's case, and he's just there to help Batman unravel the Riddler and all these riddles and all these crimes in Gotham City. So anyway, but yeah, and then Alfred Pennyworth, I will say this, Alfred Pennyworth, I will say this, Alfred, I thought for sure Alfred would die. Like there's a scene in this movie, all right? There's a scene in this movie where, and like I said in the beginning, this is a spoiler review, so you have been warned. So Alfred gets a letter from the Whittler. He opens it up, and then, there's an explosion. There's an explosion, but it happened. Batman tried to contact the mansion, but the woman, picked it up and said that it's too late. It was an hour ago. So I loved that little thing right there. So yeah, I thought for sure Alfred was gonna die. Like I was like, no way, they can't kill off Alfred. This is the beginning of what they want of a franchise, of a brand new franchise. There's no way they're gonna kill him off. There's no way they're gonna kill off Alfred. But thank goodness they didn't. Thank God. Thank God they didn't. He's just in the hospital. recovering, so all is good. And then Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot Penguin. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love him. Like, out of all of the actors, I think, out of all of them, I feel like I actually like Penguin more than the Riddler and Batman and all the other main characters in this movie. I don't. I know, like, I do know that Colin Farrell had to wear like a bunch of prosthetics on his face, and he looks so unrecognizable. Like, oh my god, under all that makeup, it's Colin Farrell, and I couldn't recognize him. Jeffrey Wright said in an interview that he didn't recognize Colin Farrell and all that penguin makeup. Jesus, but I guess you could say Penguin is kind of like Scarface. Penguin is Scarface. Meanwhile, Carmine Falcone is uh, is the Godfather. I guess you could make that comparison, kind of, sort of. There. So yeah, Carmine is the Godfather, while Penguin is Scarface. I guess you could make that comparison between the two of them. Also, by the way, that whole revelation that oh my god, like Carmine Falcone is um, Carmine Falcone is Selena's neglectful father, and so yeah, and then going out, and then so yeah, and then at the end of the movie, um, the Riddler has all these bombs spread out over the city, and like he floods the whole Gotham City. Like he floods Gotham City, and he is arrested, and he's arrested at Arkham State Hospital, and but he makes a friend with a clown. Like it's um Barry Conan, I believe that's the actor's name, Barry Conan. But yeah, he was also in a Barry was also not. I do know him from. I first known him from Dunkirk. I'm pretty sure all of us know him from Dunkirk. But then after that, he was cast as Druig in Marvel's Eternals, and now he's the Joker. Like you don't like properly see him, but you don't actually see him. Like they're trying to hide his face, but you can see the green hair and his eyebrows. That's definitely the Joker, and a little bit of his lips too. That's definitely the Joker. And he starts laughing, and he makes a reference to clown. Yeah, that's definitely the Joker. But yeah, yeah. This movie ends with Gotham City is flooded, you know, but they have they're opening up shelters and on top of these roofs, and it definitely opens a door to a sequel, and I can't wait. I really can't wait what Matt Reeves and everyone in the making has in store for us. I do know Matt Reeves says that he wants to introduce Mr. Freeze and try to ground him, and so yeah, very very interesting. If they do bring in, if Mr. Freeze is the next villain in the sequel. But yeah, this movie definitely opens a door to the future of this entire universe. And I do know there's two sequels planned, and then two spin-off television series that's currently in development for HBO Max. One of them is the Gotham City Police Department with James Gordon. It's basically Batman Year One. Like this is I think this is more like Year Two. It's like the Batman and the police officers. The Batman and the Gotham City Police Department. Gordon. They're meeting each other for the first time. This is their first encounter. He's a brand new vigilante, in Gotham City. But yeah, that's one spin-off TV show. Another one is a penguin, like a penguin origin story. I'm hearing it might be rated R. And also, it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be Penguin's rise of power, like how Oswald Cobblepop becomes the Penguin. So I can't wait for those, for the future of this movie. So yeah, the sequels and the TV shows all of it sounds pretty exciting. But yeah, I don't, yeah, but yeah, like I said, I don't like it's. I don't know if it's, like I said. I don't know if it's an issue, but I liked Batman. I liked Robert Pattinson's Batman persona more than his Bruce Wayne persona. But yeah, it's not a huge issue or anything. It's just a little nitpick, a tiny little thing. Um, And then another issue I have with this film, it's a huge one. It's the one time. This movie is like 3 hours long. This movie is 3 hours long. That is long. That is extensive. All right. But but I love it. I love the story. I love the characters. Everything about this movie is amazing. My only issue is that I feel like they could have cut like 30 minutes down, maybe 15 to 30 minutes of, you know, of the one time, but that's really it. But that's like the only issue I have it. I love everything about this movie. I love the action. I just it's amazing. All right. So yeah, but anyway, I'm done babbling on and on and on. So if you've seen the Batman, excuse me, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you lovely people really soon.